How do I get off the swirly-twirly content train? What are the first steps that you would recommend for me as a leadership practitioner?
Okay, well, um, I'm going to be very honest with everyone. I don't think it is an easy task to get off the swirly-twirly content train because we've been on it for so long, and it is so ingrained in the way that we think about things. And to be quite frank, I think many of us have a deep-seated relationship with the content, right? And with the amount of it that is out there. So here's how where I think we need to start. I think we've got to start kind of a step back, you guys. And I think that we need to really analyze our current design philosophy and how we determine we want to move forward, because we have to move forward in the leadership development space, or we're not going to get to this really cool space where we're able to prescribe content that actually will drive the behavior that drives outcomes. So most of us, as we've grown up in this industry, have grown up in kind of a learning-centered design methodology, if you will. And what I'm talking about there is I'm talking about design on a kind of general basis, where we take, the content from the library, or maybe that has been around in our organization for a while, and we create kind of these general paths that are good for everybody to go through, right? Everybody feels good when they go through it. And it's it's a little bit of, a rite of passage, or what it means to be in the organization. But think kind of general, think very general in nature, right? So as we think about this as a continuum, the next step in where we need to go, and many of us are going there, is learner-centered design, where we begin to think through, okay, what does this learner really need? And how do we go out then and map that content back to what they need? So it's a little bit more purposeful than learning centered, because now we have our person, and we're identifying them, and we're saying, what do they need? And we're creating that path for them. Where we really need to go, though, you guys, is a design philosophy called learner and business centered design, where it's very much like what I was showing Rob, where we focus in, of course, on the learner and how to help them be more effective, but we also focus in on the business and how to help the business be more effective. We have to begin to serve both living organisms at the same time, and we have to map our content back to both of those organisms so that the path includes both, so that we know where our gaps are, and we can appropriately provide development in those gaps. But the only way we're going to get there is if we're mapping back to both the learner and the business. From my perspective, because I work in leadership development, my learner is a leader, and that's where I'm spending most of my time. Is, hey, how do we determine really what exceptional is for both the leader and the business, and how do we map content back to that so that they can go straight out to that content, pull it back, work with it, figure out, is this really driving my results? So this is not just, hey, I'm going to hop off at the next station. I think it's challenging, but it is worthy work. Why? I think because of many of the things that Rob shared with us as we were, going through the entire conversation that we had today. It is where leadership development practitioners need to go. It is necessary in our industry as we think about providing the support to drive business outcomes.